it was just ridiculous. It's not often that you're watching the WNBA or that I'm watching it and I'm like, wow, I've just never seen this before.
All right, so picture this scenario. A commissioner drunk on absolute power, a fan base pushed way past their breaking point, and three incredible players, Caitlin, Sophie, and Lexi, holding their ground while everything crumbles around them. Right now, the WNBA is staring down its most devastating crisis ever, with over 200,000 fans declaring they're done with the 2026 season. That number keeps shooting up so fast that Cathy Engelbert literally fled the league offices in complete terror. Her phone won't stop ringing with sponsor calls. Adam Silver is absolutely livid. The entire WNBA sits on the edge of total destruction. This is the inside story they desperately hoped would never surface. You're watching the WNBA implode in real time. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop a comment saying boycott 2026 if you're backing Caitlin, Sophie, and Lexi. Everything started falling apart when that private players group chat got exposed. Word got out that Cathy had supposedly told Caitlin Clark to quit doing outside appearances, especially golf events. But the story gets worse. She apparently made the same threats to Sophie and Lexi too, talking about suspensions, bench time, even throwing around the word
nation. As for what Engelbert is alleged to have said to Collier, if she actually suggested Caitlin Clark should be grateful for what she makes off the court, that's preposterous. Did you miss the Iowa years? Clark is the Tiger Woods tide that lifts all boats. And we know this show is proof. The highest rating we have ever had followed one of her games at Iowa. The WNBA has benefited from her presence more than the other way around, even though this year for Caitlin Clark was essentially lost to injury.
The players couldn't believe what they were hearing. Caitlin was like, so, we can't even hit the golf course now. We can't have any kind of normal life. Word spread like wildfire through the team. For the first time ever, Caitlin Clark, who's basically become the league's biggest superstar, felt completely trapped. Sophie and Lexi immediately rallied around her. They made it crystal clear, if management comes for you, we're walking out together. 3 friends, 3 teammates. 3 players that fans absolutely worship, and Cathy picked literally the worst possible moment to declare war. The second news of these threats hit social media, fans completely lost it. A single fan's tweet racked up 1.2 million views, saying suspend Caitlin and we're suspending our support for the entire WNBA. Reddit went ballistic. Instagram was on fire. TikTok was in chaos. The fan base wasn't just mad anymore. They were completely finished. They started remembering everything. Bogus foul calls, deliberate targeting, Caitlin getting benched, supposedly for her own safety. Threats over something as innocent as golf, warning players just for being human. Then someone hit the nuclear option. A verified 200,000 fans officially signed onto a 2026 boycott. The number kept climbing every single minute. This wasn't just individual people walking away either. Entire families joined in. Kids signed up, friend groups coordinated. The rage wasn't some temporary outburst. This was generational anger, unleashing all at once. Major sponsors saw those numbers and didn't waste any time. No negotiations, no meetings, just straight phone calls to Cathy. The message was simple: lose Caitlin and you lose our money too. One sponsor representative flat out said, this isn't about the league having problems. This is about Cathy being the problem. League headquarters started getting flooded with emails almost immediately.
Then the high tide lifts all boats or whatever, basically. Like, if you buy into this, everybody is going to eat. Yet you had people fighting tooth and nail the entire season, not wanting it to be this way because other people weren't getting flowers, or she was getting too much attention, or she gets a special whistle, or I'm gonna check her off the ball here just because. And then her teammate cheers for her for throwing her on the ground. It didn't get better. And it's disappointing to me because it's not every player in the WNBA. And I'm sure that there are many players who are happy to have her in the league. And it's like, if it was my league and somebody was coming in and bringing millions of people, like, I would be excited about that, because you know what? That's a chance for me to impress millions of people who weren't watching before. And there's a lot of women in this league who don't have that kind of envy and jealousy and this kind of like secret club mentality that they only want certain people to be a part.
The trickle became a flood, then hundreds upon hundreds of messages. Companies yanking their funding, companies freezing their payments, companies making it clear they'd never come back. The WNBA suddenly understood this wasn't just bad publicity or some minor controversy. This was like having a financial heart attack in broad daylight. Every single decision Kathy made was literally destroying the league as everyone watched. When that boycott counter hit 210,000 signatures, Adam Silver absolutely exploded. He stormed into the meeting room, threw a thick folder down on the conference table, and delivered an ultimatum. Solve this crisis immediately, or resign. Dead silence filled the room. Kathy's face went completely pale. Silver started firing questions at her. Why are you making threats about players' personal lives? Why are you specifically targeting Caitlin? Why are you going after her teammates? She started stumbling through weak excuses, but he wasn't having any of it. He told her point blank, there will be no golf bans, no suspensions, no firing anyone. Then something absolutely wild happened. The assistant commissioner leaned over and whispered something in Silver's ear. He just stood up, shook his head in disbelief, and walked straight out. No wrap-up, no further discussion, just pure legendary frustration. Back at the Fever headquarters, the players' phones were going absolutely crazy with notifications. 200K boycotters, then 220K, then 250K. Caitlin stared at her screen while Sophie grabbed her hand tight. Lexi pulled them both into a group hug. Caitlin whispered that all these people were standing up for them. Sophie said they had to stay strong through this. Lexi said they'd face it together no matter what. Meanwhile, the WNBA offices had turned into complete pandemonium. Staff members were breaking down crying. Phone lines were jammed. Email servers were overloaded. Sponsors had hit the panic button. Executives were literally hiding behind locked office doors. And Kathy sat there trembling because she had absolutely no strategy, no allies, no backup plan whatsoever. The brutal reality finally hit her. You can't wage war against your own fan base. You can't make threats against your biggest stars. You can't try to control people's lives. The fans had officially reclaimed their league. Before the day ended, boycott estimates crossed 1 million when family members got included in the count. Kathy's chair sat empty. Her office stayed locked up tight. She refused to make any public statement. The league hemorrhaged sponsors, credibility, fans, revenue, and basic stability.
It would be holding the players back from saying, yes, we agreed to an extension. Let's try to iron out this deal so there is no lockout. Right? They'll still be able to negotiate if there's a lockout. However, players won't be able to head to the facility. They won't be able to get treatment. They won't be able to train with the team, with the staff. So there is some things to lose if there is a lockout. Sources: WNBA offers players extension on CBA deadline. The WNBA has offered players a 30-day extension to continue negotiations for a new collective bargaining agreement, sources told ESPN on Tuesday. An extension before the current CBA expires Friday would allow both sides more time to negotiate a new deal.
That question, which raises some sensitivities of rivalries between players. In the case of Angel Reese, who's just had to shut it down because of a wrist injury, Caitlin Clark, who's continuing to play. Rivalry that goes back to their college days, presumably, where I guess some trash talking entered in. But now it seems on some social media channels to have taken a darker turn, a more menacing turn, where race has been introduced into the conversation, where sexuality is sometimes introduced into the conversation. How do you try and stay ahead of that, try and tamp it down, or act as a league when two of your most visible players are involved, not personally, it would seem, but their fan bases are involved?
Control. All of this destruction happened because she decided to threaten Caitlin, Sophie, and Lexi, the exact three players she should have been protecting at all costs. The WNBA didn't just lose some athletes today, they lost something way more valuable: trust. And once trust disappears, everything else falls apart. If you think the fans made the right call here, drop a comment saying boycott 2026 until justice gets served. If you're standing with Caitlin, Sophie, and Lexi through all this chaos, smash that like button and subscribe, because this scandal is nowhere near finished.